So I made this wonderful video for my friend in the USA, Chris from Nana's Naturals. She wanted to know what I did with my smoothie and what I drank every day. So this is it. Okay, so this is what I do. I usually blend up the melon. I put half of it into the fridge and keep half the smoothie. Then I squeeze the oranges. So I've got about 10 oranges here, 5 in each bag. And then I get rid of the pips, etc. Put that into the blender. Then I add the blueberries, frozen, which is about 400 grams. And I add the broccoli, which is about 4 clumps of broccoli in a small bowl, and the banana. So I blend all that up and sieve it. The next, what I do is I measure up, because there's more than it usually lasts me about 3 days for me and Melody. So it's 2, 4, 6 cups for this smoothie. And then what I do is I measure 2 cups into the blender and I add broccoli seeds. So I add these broccoli seeds here, so 2 tablespoons, and then I add 2 teaspoons of your wonderful Japanese knotweed, and I blend that all up, sieve that, and then that's a drink for the morning. So yeah, I will do a video later on and put that together for you and stick it on YouTube, and I'll add Nana's Naturals. Love you, bye bye. Okay, so I've just whisked up the watermelon, so now I'm just gonna pour this through a sieve and then put half into the smoothie and half into the fridge. Now you need to get yourself a big bowl, a sieve, and just attach the sieve to the bowl and pour in the watermelon. Okay, so I've left half the watermelon in the blender and I've got half of it in the bowl, well, in the sieve in the bowl, and I'm just using a spoon just to get it through the sieve. You need to sort of do this and just keep doing this till you get all just left with pulp, basically. And I just put the pulp in the recycling, food recycling. So this is what it looks like when it's blended, and then I'm just going to stick this into a jar and stick it in the fridge. Now I'm going to squeeze all my 10 oranges and put that juice into the blender. I've just blended up the watermelon and the orange, and I've just poured half of the mixture into the bowl, and now I'm going to add the blueberries. So now I'm just going to blend up the blueberries. I've used 400 grams, so they're frozen blueberries, 400 grams of blueberries in the blender, and I'll come back once I've blended those. Whilst I'm blending up the blueberries, I usually wash the grapes. So I've got black grapes here, it's about 400 grams in a pallet, so I'm just washing those with distilled water. I've just added the broccoli. You can't see it because it's in a sea of a smoothie there, purple smoothie. I put the banana in. I'm going to blend that up, and then I will pour some of the liquid into the bowl again and trying to, get all the bits out and come back, and then I'm going to add the grapes. Okay, we're getting quite messy now. So we're going to add the grapes into the blender. As you can see, I've got less than half of the mixture in there, and I poured the rest into the bowl because I don't want it to overflow in the blender and break it. So I'm going to come back soon. That was one big watermelon, even though I used half of it. So I'm going to need 2 bowls. So I've just halved the mixture, and I'm going to sieve the rest of the mixture into the bowls, into equal measures. Okay, so I managed to get all the smoothie mix into one bowl, and I've got a great big mason jar there, but I'm probably going to need another mason jar for the rest of the smoothie mix. Now what I usually do is, once I've got my main mix, my main smoothie mix, I then get a couple of glasses, and I measure out 2 glasses of the smoothie mix and add it to the blender with my broccoli sprouts. And I make these myself. I can add a link also into my blog about how to, grow your own broccoli sprouts, because they're really good for you, fantastic nutrition. So I'd add that to your diet. And Nana's Naturalz Japanese Knotweed Resveratrol anti-aging, fantastic stuff. I've had this in my garden for 17 years. I love it. Sadly, my new neighbour and a lot of British people don't understand the nutrition value of this wonderful plant. So I'm going to add some links to my blog about that. So mine sadly got poisoned. But I'm hoping, Chris tells me after 2 years, I should hopefully be able to use the knotweed again and it'll be clean again and organic again, so I can use it again. So I can't wait for that. But for now, she sent me this knotweed, and you know, I call her my sister. She's so lovely and kind to me. I'm very lucky. So anyway, she's from Nana's Naturals. And so yeah, I'm going to measure this mixture out, put it into 2 cups, put it in the blender, and I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of the broccoli sprouts and 2 teaspoons of the Japanese knotweed powder, just for my daughter and I. So that's just for 2 cups of the smoothie. Okay, I've had to give my daughter smoothie to her already because she's busy doing her schoolwork. So I'm just going to show you what I do for my smoothie. So I've got 1 cup of smoothie mix. I pour that in. Nearly missed the jug. Then I add a teaspoon of wonderful Japanese knotweed powder, and then a tablespoon of my wonderful broccoli sprouts. And I'll just blend all that up. Then I sieve that again and we're good to go. When I had Japanese knotweed in my garden, I was putting it in my smoothies raw, and I was getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Gosh, this stuff just gave me so much energy. It was unbelievable. I used to go through the whole day feeling fantastic, and I felt that my joints were better as well. Chris gets up, my herbalist friend gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning to do all her work, which I find really astonishing as well, and she's taking this knotweed as well. I also found that when I was taking the root knotweed, because I couldn't use my own because of the pesticides in the garden next door, it didn't have the same effect. I was getting up really late and I just didn't have the energy with that. But I think that they use that for Lyme disease, etc. So maybe it gets to different parts of the body, so it's a different thing. So for me, I want to use the stems of the knotweed because I find that this gives me the most energy and I just love it. So I just thought I'd let you guys know that. Okay, so this is how much smoothie mix you get. So I've got 1 cup there, I've got a great big mason jar there, and then you get a small mason jar for the rest of it, the remaining smoothie. And this is what I have for my breakfast. I have my lovely smoothie every morning, and I give that to my daughter as well. My partner's a bit fussy, so I have to make him a different one. And then I have my walnuts, my goji berries, almonds, apricots. Is that it? I think that's it, yeah. And they're all organic. You don't want sulfate on your fruit, dried fruit, because that's really bad for asthma. So I stay clear of that stuff. And I've got my organic banana. So yeah, that's my breakfast. Okay, so that's all from me, Sharon from Butterfly Lullaby. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and you can learn more about Japanese knotweed from my friend's website, Nana's Naturalz, and also I'll add some links in the description from my own research, and that's how Chris and I met over a wonderful, wonderful herbal plant, Japanese knotweed. As you can hear in the background, that's my partner singing. I live in a very, very wonderful household. We're all arty and crafty and, you know, musical in some respect. I don't sing, but my partner sings, my daughter sings. So yeah, it's just lovely. I can't wait to hear the finished product of this song. So anyway, I'm going to go now. I'm going to have my breakfast and listen to this wonderful music. Have a fantastic day, everybody, and good health to you. Love you all. Bye bye. And love to my friend Chris. Love you, sis.